Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome to just a little quick discussion. Here with John. Basically, we're gonna talk about Ben Affleck stepping down as director. Um, Now, John, I know you. I was the optimistic person for the DCU.
Well, yeah, I'm very pessimistic on it. And one thing though, I actually did not see this coming because, and I'd said it before because you and Cody had said, or you and Soul had said that you guys were a little worried about this, if I recall correctly,
Yeah.
because Ben Affleck had voiced his concern before. I, on the other hand, was not really worried about it because Ben Affleck has been known to kind of do that, like play coy almost, like this weird thing he does.
Uh huh.
Uh, I wasn't actually expecting him to step down, which he did. Now, of course, he's also still going to be doing. He's going to be a producer
Hmm.
and he's going to be in it, of
Yeah.
course. So he's not completely removed from it. But yeah, but well, as far as the DC universe as a whole goes, what do you think this would be like for what does this have an effect on it for
Uh,
you?
it it got me a little worried
Hmm.
because with all the talk of that Ben Affleck was doing about his directing Batman. He was like, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to make sure it's not like any other and all that. So I honestly was optimistic about the Batman movie, kind of like I am with the Wonder Woman movie. Uh, I'm optimistic about that. But by him stepping down, it's like because all the other rumors we've heard about the script and all that, and then him stepping down now, it's just worrisome because it's like what's going on that's is causing all this, and his reasoning is he can't really play Batman right if he has all these roles, which I kind of can see because like has to get himself in that Bruce Wayne mentality, and if he's running and then has to like
Well,
if
I
he has to
would
be
just
in
feel bad
Batman
for all other actors on set who are being taking directorial
from Batman,
instructions from a guy dressed as a bat.
yeah,
As far as the DC universe is concerned, really, and even just the fate of the movie, excuse me, uh, I'm actually neutral on this because
mm-hmm,
I don't. What will really make my decision on my expectations for this movie
mm-hmm,
would be who they replace him with,
true,
because Ben Affleck is a good director. Although the word around town is that one of the reasons for this is because Live by Night, the movie he just directed,
yeah,
didn't do so well apparently,
yeah,
which it actually didn't. Um, but I don't think that's really the case because even though it didn't do so well, it did all right. And directorial wise,
mm-hmm,
just the way it looked and felt, I thought it was really good. Um, it just obviously the script wasn't that great
yeah,
because the movie wasn't that terribly amazing, but it wasn't bad. But I would have to wait to see who he's replaced with to make, I guess, my final expectational
mm-hmm,
judgment. Because if he's replaced with like a Joel Schumacher or something like that, you know what I mean. That's not going to be great. But if he's replaced with a good director, he very well could be.
yeah.
And this also doesn't mean that he's not going to have his hands on it at all. Because again, he'll be in it. He's a producer, so I think he'll obviously have some say in it. But and this doesn't make me any more worried about the DC universe. But I'm already really worried,
Yeah,
more so than I think than you and Soul. So
I'm pretty worried now. I think I've gotten to your level. Um, because these two movies were my saving grace for the optimism, Wonder Woman and Batman, and with all the troubles I'm hearing about Batman, like that's on some shifty ground, and with Wonder Woman, like it's kind of gone like quiet with Wonder Woman. Like you're not seeing that many commercials for it and all. I mean, it comes out in May. It's in a few months. Like,
yeah, I don't know what to say about that honestly. The thing, Wonder Woman, I did not feel the enthusiasm that everybody else did it,
mm-hmm,
but I did as well for that trailer,
mm-hmm,
trailers, and I just thought that maybe it was just because I'm not a huge fan of Wonder Woman, so I was thinking maybe that was just my bias. So I really didn't talk about it a lot because I just thought I was just being biased and I couldn't know any better.
yeah.
But that movie, the thing is, even using the word worried, like I'm not even really worried about the DCU. I'm disappointed with
Hmm.
it, and I can't. After my view is simply that after BVS, which I hated, uh, I no matter what they do, I don't think will ever be good enough to make up for it, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Because what the way I look at BVS was that they pretty much they eviscerated Batman's character,
Yeah.
and they were just and Superman's character was black. Like I just and when you murder the characters, no matter what you do with them, it doesn't matter because going forward, for example, Batman straight up murders people in BVS. Now,
Yeah.
I think it's been alluded to that now Batman's not going to do that anymore. But
But he already has.
has he? From when?
No, like he already has murdered people. You can't go
Yeah,
back from that.
he's already in which it's like, yeah. Well, you can't. You can technically. I could believe that this Batman would like. All right, well, I'm not going to kill anymore. Great. Except the thing is, the whole purpose of not killing people was such an essential part of his character
Yeah.
that when you're just like flipping it on and off like that, it's obvious that it really is irrelevant to this character, to this particular Batman,
Yeah.
which is still bad. Like there was a reason why he didn't murder people.
And I've told you many times, I enjoy the Superman that's on Supergirl so much more than the Superman. Um,
Because
he's like Superman.
he's like Slate, this Superman. He doesn't do anything, and then nothing he does is even like it's funny because my dad watched BVS the other night because he hadn't seen it in a while,
Yeah.
and I was like, what character arc does Superman go through in that movie? And he couldn't tell me because he doesn't go through one. It's the same thing in Man of Steel. He doesn't go into a character arc. Like his character does not change at all unless he's being told. For example, in the beginning, his Earth dad says, you shouldn't be Superman. You know what I mean? Like the world isn't ready, so he doesn't. And then his space dad's like, no, you should be Superman. He's like, okay, and then he does. And it's like none of that was him. He didn't go through a character arc. He didn't change at all. He was just told what to do, and he did it.
Yeah.
If anything, he's a vindictive ass. When he remember when he takes that guy's truck and puts it up in the
Oh yeah. He crushes it and all. Like.
and then later at the end of the movie, he takes the U.S. Air Force girl and just destroys it. That's like $1 billion. It's like, wow, asshole.
Yeah. True justice in the American way, unless you're spying on me, and
Yeah,
then.
so he doesn't go through an arc, and he's just an asshole. And then BVS, he just mopes around and also doesn't go through an arc. Like, what is he? What is he?
He's just what he is.
So now, because you set those characters up that way, I just don't care going forward. I don't care about Justice League. I don't care about the Batman. And then the only where that they have room to impress me is Wonder Woman because they didn't. One of my issues with BVS is because she feel like she didn't need to be in there because she didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, there's plenty of room for them to expand on.
Yeah, because there was no character shown.
So they could definitely, they could surprise me with that. And if they do, they do, and I'll be like, great. But because she is not a huge character that I'm really grasping onto, and even if she was, even if I really liked Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
they still screwed up Batman and Superman. So I don't care anymore.
I get that. I I don't. It's hard to even explain anymore. Like.
Well, the thing is, I'm at this point now is where it's like, if you asked me what I think the DCU should do,
Mm-hmm.
it would be stop everything, start over. So when you take that position that I have and apply it to now, the movies and stuff are coming out, and I'm just sitting here like I don't really give a shit. I wish they would just stop and start over again, because I've just thoroughly been unimpressed with all of this, all of it. I just think they've done a terrible job up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
They're not incapable of making good decisions,
Mm-hmm.
but they just have not made them yet. And if Wonder Woman's good, Wonder Woman's good. Although I touched on it before, and I was afraid to speak on it because of my bias, because I'm not a really huge fan of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But that trailer, for whatever reason, just rubbed me the wrong way. The way it was being filmed and the way it was being portrayed,
Mm-hmm.
it almost felt like, how do I put it? It felt like basically a worse Captain America, his original movie, because that was in World War II, this is World War I. But it felt to me kind of like a worse version of that. And I actually liked the Captain America movie, the original first Avenger movie. But I don't know what it is. It just gave me, for example, the slow-mo shots in that.
Uh-huh.
the way that it was used, I don't know how it is. Like, I have this sense, and most of the time it's right, I think, and sometimes it's wrong. But it just whenever I see a trailer for a movie, I'm just like, this is not gonna be good, or that's not gonna be that's gonna be good. And it's just Wonder Woman has hit this middle ground for me, where it's like there's aspects of it where I'm like, it doesn't look good. And there's other aspects where I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like even just the filmography, like that in the opening scene of I think the most recent trailer, where Steve Trevor crashes in the Amazonian
Yeah.
islands, and then just that landscape, like that's beautiful. It looks great. And
Yeah.
then them bringing him in before the Queen. It's like, what are you doing here? I'm fighting the war to end all wars, and it's like, you don't know about it. Like that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But then it shifts into like when Wonder Woman Diana goes to World War I, like goes to the war, and it's like she gets up out of the trench and she's blocking the bullets in slow mo with her bracelets, and I'm like, ugh.
See, I thought that was pretty badass.
Well, you like that? I was just like,
mainly.
In all honesty, if they'd filmed that in like real time instead of slow mo, I probably would have liked it more. But I don't know.
Mainly because I feel like because I was in a World War One literature course at that time where I was reading stories about the trenches and like they described the bullets in slow mo and all, like it was basically what I read and put into like filmography
But yeah,
form.
that's because check. Well, contrary to popular belief, bullets out of a gun don't actually travel that. They're fast, but they don't travel that fast.
Yeah.
You could actually, when I did my competitive rifle shooting, when I'm shooting at 600 yards away, I can see the bullet go. Like I can see its vapor trail downrange. Like it's not that fast. For whatever, I guess modern culture, especially in video games like Call of Duty, where it's like the bullet's almost instant, you expect it to go that fast. So when you're talking about accounts from World War One of slow mo, that's because technically your brain, I believe, can perceive it that fast. The thing is, you just can't move that fast.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. I really hadn't actually.
Yeah.
It's an interesting perspective, but it's still like it just doesn't feel like. First of all, because I don't really know where I stand on Wonder Woman in general. Like I don't really know. And I guess to be fair, this will probably be filled out in the movie. They'll probably explain it, but I don't know who she is and like what type of what interpretation will they do?
Yeah.
What are her powers? What can she not do?
Yeah, and I think they have to because there's never been a Wonder Woman movie, so like unlike with Superman and Batman, there's movies the people have seen before. So they have an idea of who someone is, so they don't have to do the whole entire backstory unless you're Batman, and then, well, you just got to see that. But with Wonder Woman, they're gonna have to explain from the beginning what Wonder Woman is.
You know what? What I just thought of was it's interesting. Like that, I don't know why I thought of it when you said it because I've never been a Wonder Woman movie. That I almost feel like they're trying a bit too hard with it now that I think about it. And I can't help but think about that. Like, you like the slow-mo shots where she's blocking bullets. I interpret that as why I interpret that as a negative is because it reminds me of back during when the Matrix just came out and everyone was ripping it off.
Yeah.
And it was almost like everyone was trying too hard. But that's what it reminds me of because if you look at Man of Steel and BVS, how many slow-mo shots are in those movies? Now, that's obviously a directorial thing, but they really aren't. There's really not a lot of slow-mo shots in modern films today.
No.
And then you pull that in Wonder Woman, and I'm like, it's like they're putting it in your face. Like, yeah, it's a woman. Yeah, it's Wonder Woman. Yeah, look how badass she is. And it's like, all right, she's an Amazonian with a sword and shield on the battlefield, ripping people apart. That's badass enough. You need to tone it down a bit. That's just the way
I can totally see that point. I also think, like, I don't think they're going to use that much slow-mo in the film. I think they were just
to be fair, I'm harkening on this slow-mo shot over and over. But what it really basically is to me, it bothers me because they slow it down. The fact of the matter is, my original problem that I had with Wonder Woman was the actress playing Gal Gadot. Not that I have a problem with the actress, I just didn't think physically she embodied the character well. So when I see her like on the battlefield hawking around a heavy shield and a heavy sword, I just don't and doing all these amazing feats, I just don't believe it. I just there's something in my mind like I just can't believe that. I believe Superman or how Batman is a better example. Batman can do the things he does, especially now more so than ever. Like when Batman grabs him by the head and shoves him down. And he like makes a dent into the floor. Like, I
Yes.
believe he did that. Ben Affleck's big. Like
Yes.
I believe he does that. Um, and even more so than I think Christian Bale's Batman.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And it's funny because you can even see the difference in the fighting. And I'll give Zack Snyder this. He wanted Batman to be a bruiser, and he is a bruiser in this one. Because in Christopher Nolan's Batman with Christian Bale, he did a lot more Kung Fu Louis, which I prefer a Batman that way. But I couldn't see Christian Bale's Batman doing the things that Ben Affleck's does.
No.
I believe it in Ben Affleck's. I don't believe that with Wonder Woman. Like the suspension of disbelief just isn't there for me. I guess is what it comes down to. And maybe that'll change when I see the movie. But I'm just like,
yeah. Well, our opinions are just gonna have to wait till the movie comes out. But I love how this went from Ben Affleck directing to Wonder Woman. But
yeah, well, let me. I guess if we're gonna be closing this video soon, let's come back to that.
yeah,
Ben Affleck. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess it's up in the air. Like I do want a good Batman movie, but again, I'm at this point where I really just don't care about it. Like I said, what I would want in a Batman in live action is so radically different from what they went with in this movie.
Yeah.
The closest thing on screen thus far, I think, would be actually the '89 Batman. Is the closest thing that thus far that's been on screen that I would want in a Batman. And even that's not perfect because, primarily because they had to do certain things because of the time period.
Yeah.
The cowl from that movie doesn't even really exist anymore because of what they made it out of. But I don't know. So at this point, I'm like, But just looking at it from an objective standpoint on if the movie's going to do well or if it'll do good, I honestly wouldn't know until they replace the director. In addition to the fact that we also haven't talking about like behind the scenes stuff as well, because the studio now is getting a lot more involved in these movies.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, except because normally I'm an advocate of get the studio out of there, let the director do his thing. Except they did that with Man of Steel and BVS,
and it was shit.
So it's like, I'm sitting here like normally I'd advocate that, but I'm like, well, I can't really do that in this case because they literally tried it and it failed. And
it failed horribly.
So I'm like, well, I'm sorry guys, like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you there. I typically rather have the director do that, but like with this one, when you said about having the director have free roam and all, and now you want the studio to jump in, kind of is how I felt about Fan 4 Stick. Like the director had full control, and then the studio was trying to, like, you went too far.
Watch that movie, you can almost tell. Like you can see where it splits because that first half of that movie is actually not that bad.
No, the first half is decent.
You can almost tell like that time split, and then from there, like in the middle of the movie, it just goes.
Yeah.
The entire rest, and you can tell that's when the studio got their hands on it.
Yeah. Like, exactly. But I think that's any other final comments.
Well, I'll just say this real quick. With Warner Brothers now with their directorial thing, because now they're getting more control, and the directors and so on and so forth. The problem that I think Warner Brothers is having now is primarily because they chose Zack Snyder. I didn't think that was a good choice when they chose him originally. For Man of Steel, I didn't really have a problem with it. But when he was going back to do BVS, I was like, I don't know, because then you're basically giving this one man to shape the DCU.
Yeah.
And even Marvel didn't really do that. Well, they have Kevin Feige. He's not a director. He's just making sure everything works.
Yeah.
And every other movie before that was directed by a different director.
Yeah.
So it's like, this was not a great idea, I thought, and I saw it coming with Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder is a great visual director, but on the content of his movies, he generally lacks.
Yeah.
And that's literally what he delivered. He delivered that.
He delivered a beautiful movie, but it's English major is going to take over. But you can have a beautiful book, but if it doesn't have any substance on the page, it's worthless.
Exactly, and he literally delivered that. And I could never argue that neither Man of Steel or BVS looks bad because they don't. They look great.
They look great.
Costume design, although again, I would prefer a different. I don't really. The more I look at Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman suits, I dislike them slightly more. More so Henry Cavill's. I just I don't know. I have a longing for the traditional Superman outfit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I like the regular Superman outfit myself.
And then with Ben Affleck's Batfleck, I said Ben Affleck's Batfleck. So his Batman,
Yeah.
his costume. It's like it
It
makes sense that he looks that way because he is such a big dude. And he's being
yeah.
a brute. But that's not what I really would prefer in a Batman. Like if you ever wondered what would I want as a Batman, it would be look at um, the actually go to the animated series. So the original animated series and then Justice League, and then because and I'm naming a couple because they're actually remarkably similar. Then you did the Batman, that TV show, and then finally actually Justice League Action is pretty good. The thing with Justice League Action, it's pretty much almost a continuation of the
Yeah.
original Justice League show. So they're very similar in one another. The way Batman moves and I like the way like how Batman like he's stealthy when he's not moving, the
Yes.
cape drapes forward like a cloak.
Yes.
Um, Ben Affleck's Batman doesn't do that. Like his cape's always behind him, and you just have this
No,
big guy.
because his shoulders won't allow his cape to come forward.
Exactly, like he's like always ready to just go eat shit on you at any
Yeah.
time. Like,
And going back to the Superman costume, that's kind of why I like that's one of the reasons I like Supergirl as much as I do, because it's kind of a mixture between the movie version and the traditional type Superman outfit, because like the S is it it's original, but it has a little twang of the new to it.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is, but those CW superhero shows, their costumes are pretty on point. Like,
They're pretty fantastic.
I mean, like, shit, I like the current Flash costume in the show more than I do the cinematic one.
Yes, I hate the cinematic one. Oh
Oh,
my
it
god.
looks off. And what the hell is the deal with this? Pisses me off. I don't know who is responsible for this, but I want to strangle them. The color of Flash's lightning
It's
actually
blue.
well, yeah, it's blue in the movie, but it actually matters what color that is.
Yeah.
In like an comic book universe, that has a meaning.
Yeah, I know.
And they changed it. And it's
I
like,
know.
you dumbass.
I know. I know. Trust me, I know. But we'd be here all day. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you, John, for joining me, and like always, I will see you in the next video. Later.